Welcome to Voices from the Bench, a dental laboratory podcast. Send us an email at info@voicesfromthebench.com or look for us on Facebook at Voices from the Bench. Greetings and welcome to episode 202 of Voices from the Bench. My name is Elvis.
My name is COVID. Just kidding.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. I've been really sick, but I don't have that.
Have you been tested?
I tested myself. Yeah, I've got
Yeah, you did the home test?
10 home tests. You know, I've been doing that pretty regularly just because it's been around me. So I got a bunch on Amazon and some at CVS, and
Yeah.
just about 3 times a week just to make sure I still haven't had it.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't either, and we're both around a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you're an expert at shoving things up your nose by now. I got pretty good at it.
Move on.
So you said you were outside trimming bushes earlier?
Yeah.
Well, Indiana got hit, I think, with the biggest snowfall I've seen in a long time, which is 11 inches.
How fun. Did you go skiing?
What? No, we don't go outside when this happens.
Oh.
It's the opposite.
No. For like what, days?
It's been a couple days, yeah. Let's see, it hit on Wednesday, and then Thursday we didn't go anywhere, and by Friday we went somewhere. The roads were clear, but...
So what, everybody just comes around and plows all the snow away?
Pretty much.
And they use salt, and you have to go out and like shovel snow away from your vehicles and stuff?
Yeah.
I wouldn't know, just saying.
Yeah.
These are stupid questions for you, but not for us Florida people.
Yeah, so basically right now major roads are clear, but as soon as you turn into a neighborhood, slip and sliding.
You're fucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
Maybe one day I'll experience that.
Maybe in 2 weeks you'll experience it. Up in Chicago.
Right on.
At LMT Lab Day.
Nice segue there, partner.
Yeah, you like that?
I did like that.
Unplanned.
Very good. Very good.
So yeah, we are pretty much 2 weeks away from the big lab meeting. So whatever your thoughts are of the city of Chicago, I know some people don't like it, or its mandates, another thing I know that people don't like.
I'll just starve.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I'm that girl.
We hope to see all of those that do choose to go. We hope you all come who can. Barb and I will be at the Preet booth in the West exhibit hall all weekend. The West.
Make sure you enunciate West.
West. Don't go to the East. It's for losers. All the fun is in the West.
I'll have Fireball.
I've already had a few people ask if you would.
You know, maybe I will bring it just to be fun. Because I can't eat, so I might as well drink Fireball.
There you go.
If I can buy it.
Nothing better on an empty stomach. So, yes, West Exhibit Hall. Make sure you stop by, say hi, record on the podcast, look at some implant parts with Preet. And if you got a shirt, we would love to see them.
Yeah, you know they never sent me my shirts. I bought 4.
You still never got them?
Well, they gave me a credit, but I was so disappointed.
Wait a minute. Why didn't they make them?
I wanted 4 of them. I don't know what happened. And just so happens it's me, right? I got one for Sharon. I got one for like a few people and myself. And they canceled my order and refunded it. So the next time we do this, I'm going to be the first again to buy them. And if I don't get them, I'm taking yours. Just saying.
Did you tell them who you are?
No. I talked to them. At least they credited. I didn't know until you sent me that link. I finally got a hold of somebody. So yeah, I'm kind of bummed. I want to support my own show, for crying out loud.
They make them as you buy them. I don't understand why they did just make them.
No, well, I was telling you all along. You kept asking me, "Did you get it? Did you get it?" I'm like, no. I never got them, and I ordered 4. Just saying, I was supporting the foundation. And us.
We appreciate that. Let's hope that this doesn't discourage people, because everyone else I know
everybody but me. I'm not trying to discourage people. I'm just saying bummer. So maybe you ought to send me one.
I'm so sorry about you.
Thank you.
Just make sure you have a shirt on in Chicago.
I'm sorry for Sharon, because she inspects impressions all day, and that was her Christmas part. I was like, that is perfect.
Did you get her another gift? Did you get her something at the corner CVS on Christmas morning or something?
No, I got her earrings. They were beautiful.
Yeah, but they don't say dare to say no to bad impressions.
Bingo, baby.
Bingo. All right.
Next year. Move on.
So this week, we're talking to an Italian dentist turned U.S. dental technician. Here we go.
And you cannot pronounce his name, so give it up for Elvis right now.
Paolo Lubrano. I think that's pretty good. Paolo Paolo Lubrano. Paolo is another technician that shows his beautiful work online. He comes to the podcast to talk about his time chairside in Italy, falling in love with the lab side of the industry, coming to America, not like Eddie Murphy, but coming to America.
Good call.
And eventually opening a lab inside a dentist's office that still allows him to use his clinical skills when needed. He also finds time to train for triathlon.
Yeah, baby.
Barb's got to ask all about that.
Hell yeah. I'm in.
I honestly don't know how some people do what they do, working in our industry and doing triathlons.
We're awesome.
I thought I was nuts.
You are.
Join us as we chat with Paolo Lubrano. Whitmix's new VeriEKO LCD printer sets the bar for high-speed, high-precision 3D printing. You can now print 3 times faster than other printers while maximizing print detail and accuracy at 49 micron pixel size, thanks to the VeriEKO's 95+% light uniformity and 54 calibrated LEDs. The new printer satisfies all your printing needs with a 120 by 80 millimeter print plate. Print temporary and permanent crown and bridges, models and dies, surgical guides, splints, custom trays, and even dentures. So if you're in the market for an exceptional and affordable 3D printer, call Whitmix at 1-800-626-5651 for more information. You'll feel confident that you've made the right choice with VeriEKO's industry-leading 2-year warranty. And as always, we appreciate your support of the podcast, Whitmix. Voices from the Bench. The interview. We'd like to welcome to the podcast. I'm not even going to try to pronounce. Well, okay, I'm going to try. Paolo Lubrano.
No, not bad actually.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
What is it technically though? Give it up. You pronounce it. Is it Lubrano or Lubrano?
Lubrano, yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But a lot of people called me so many different names that I don't even know where they get it from, like Paleo, Paolo, yeah, all sort of names. So
just don't call you.
I don't know.
Well, we haven't really met him yet,
yes.
So let's give it a little time. So Paolo, what is it?
Paolo.
What?
Paolo?
Paolo.
Paolo.
Well, Paolo, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Let's hear your story, because you're online a lot, of course, where I meet everybody these days.
And I don't.
And you are doing some really nice, some full arch stuff.
Yeah.
How did you get started in all of this?
So, I started as a dentist first, initially.
What? Where?
Yeah, in Italy. So I was a dentist in Italy, and after...
What?
Yeah.
Like licensed?
Yeah, licensed. I actually placed 3 implants in my life. Only 3, because I was working, it was a very small clinic. It was just me and another person. That's it. And we had only one hygienist. We didn't have an assistant. So it was challenging at times because, you have to use the suction. You have to make sure everything's correct while you're prepping, while you're taking impression, while you're placing implants. All by yourself, it was pretty stressful. But that was also like 12 years ago or 13 years ago. So yeah, I started as a dentist and...
Well, hold up. I don't mean to interrupt you. So how did you know you wanted to be a dentist? Go back a little further.
That's an interesting question because initially I wanted to be a doctor actually, and that didn't work out. I didn't get to med school. In Italy, how it works is you have to take a test and only the first 200 people that scored the highest point can get in the school.
Yeah.
And I was like 250, 260 or something like that. And at the same time, I tried to get in dental school and I got into it.
Did they just let everybody in?
Yeah, no, not really. The first, I think it was 120 people, 150 people. I can't remember.
Oh, really?
And now things change. I don't know how it works now. But at the time, it was either 100 or 100, 120, 150, somewhere around there. The first year of dental school sucked because I did not like anything, especially chemistry. I hated chemistry. I hated math. I hated physics. My dad is an astrophysicist. So every time I had an issue with physics, I would just text him. It's like, hey, buddy, so what am I supposed to do here? And his own answer was like, really, Paolo, you're in dental school and you're not even know how to do this simple question. I'm like, well, I don't have a physics brain. So, yes, I don't know anything about this. But anyway, eventually I got to like dental industry. By the time we're in the third year of dental school and fourth year, I was like, okay, this is actually fun doing endo. Endo was actually kind of my passion, honestly. I love doing endo.
Really?
Although it was quite stressful at times where you get the second molar where the canals were so curved and it's a struggle sometimes, and I'm pretty sure dentists nowadays find a struggle as well, even with the microscope or no scope. And when I started working as a dentist, I realized I used to go every day off. I used to go to the local lab where I used to send all my crown and bridge work, and I would sit down next to the ceramist and next to the removal department manager. And I was just fascinated by this ceramist, honestly, layering this porcelain. Like he used to do 20 powder porcelain. Nowadays, I don't think anyone does more than 2-3 powders. I mean, even myself only do 2, honestly, and the rest is just internal stain. So, and I actually enjoyed it quite a lot. So I ended up liking the lab industry more than clinical. And that's where I am now.
How many years of school did you go through to become a dentist?
It was
7? Is it
no,
the same?
it is not. It's
7?
different.
No?
Here, I think it's like you have to go through med school first, I think. And then you go to dental school. I don't know how it works here, to be honest with you.
It's a long time.
It is a long time. It is longer than in Italy. I was a dentist at 22. So,
oh, God.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was general dentist. You know, so not perio, not prosthodontist, but 22 years old, I was already a dentist, which is pretty young in my opinion.
Very.
Yeah. And there's stuff that you cannot possibly imagine. Granted, you know, we didn't have a cone beam. We only had x-ray machines. We didn't have anything else. So it was a bit different. We didn't have the money to buy a cone beam as I would have loved to, but it wasn't as popular as now for sure.
Yeah.
Pretty much most offices now has a cone beam. So
you were still in Italy, right?
I was, yeah.
So you became a dentist, and then you got into ceramics, and then you were still in Italy. So then what?
Then I moved to U.S. in 2012. In July 2012, I decided to move to U.S. because I was born in New York.
My favorite city in the whole wide world.
Oh, it's mostly upstate New York. So like Rochester, Buffalo, that's where I moved.
How did you choose that area?
Part of my family lives in Rochester, New York. So that's where I end up, basically. And I started working in a local lab there, and then eventually I moved to Bonadent, where I worked for a few years. Then I decided that...
I think everybody in that part of the country worked at Bonadent.
Yeah, I was thinking
oh, yeah. I mean, it's a big lab, so...
Yeah.
I think only that location has over 200 employees at a time when I worked, so... It's pretty big. You know?
Yeah, that's a big operation.
Yeah, really big. A lot of headache as well, I assume.
Yes.
And
totally.
I think the last year... Not the last year, but yeah, the last year that I lived there, so in 2018... I remember shoveling my driveway 3 times in an hour and a half, and that's when I decided I am done with this state. And I moved to Connecticut, where I worked for a little while for a bigger lab.
Did you shovel just as much in Connecticut?
Oh, God, no. I think there's snowstorm here in Connecticut is like 3 inches, and I kind of laughed at that.
I thought it snowed a lot in Connecticut, too. I don't know.
Well, not where I am, maybe. Yeah. Definitely more inland for sure. Towards Hartford, maybe a little more. But I'm close to New Haven, so I'm on the shore.
Okay.
Again, last snowstorm that I had was actually last year was actually pretty big. But when I first moved to Connecticut, the first snowstorm, what they claimed snowstorm was like only 3 inches.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
It's not, yeah. So I was like, oh, you know, I got a super, I'm fine. That kind of stuff.
Yep.
I'm used to worse.
So you ended up in Connecticut. What'd you do there?
So I worked for a bigger lab, and I started as a designer first, and then I moved up to be a manager. I was the quality control manager. Things didn't work so well at the end because it wasn't really where I was going, to a point where I found an ad online on Indeed.com, and a local dentist was looking for a lab technician. And April 5th is where I started to be in-house ceramist, in-house lab tech, basically. So obviously when they found out that I was a dentist, they enjoyed the idea because sometimes we do x-rays, we take cone beam scans, and we evaluate where to place these implants together, whether short, long, all that kind of stuff, bone reduction guys. I'm also assistant too. So I do the whole 9 yards, basically. Nothing illegal, thankfully, but I do my part basically. So it's been quite an adventure for now. I'm pretty grateful to where I am and I enjoy it. It's actually kind of fun seeing your lab work going inside patient mouth, for sure.
So I'm curious, giving up your license in Italy, what was the motivation? I mean, it seems like you went through all that schooling, you opened your practice, and then you became a technician.
So I didn't open my practice. I was working as an associate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did not open it. But mostly it's because internet. I'm not going to lie. Internet became so bad lately. Even if you go, like, we call it Dr. Google.
Oh, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
It's absolutely insane. And I'm even seeing it here at where I work now. It's like, it's crazy. Like, you get these patients, I want this, and that. Well, it's going to cost you this much because you also don't need just the implants. You also need zygoma implant. And that's a major surgery there.
Yeah.
And plus over here with insurances, it's just a major headache, and I don't want to deal with that. Because I actually looked into getting licensed here, and it would take me close to 3 years or something like that, and I'm not dealing with that.
You actually thought about becoming a dentist here in the States?
No. I thought of it first.
Yeah, for like a second.
Yeah.
I thought of it first, and then I realized, it's all about money. I'm like, I'm not paying $50,000 a year or whatever it was, whatever they quoted me at a time. So,
personal opinion is you made the right decision.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Plus, you know what? I feel like the lab industry, it's a step ahead of clinical industry, in my opinion, with the technology especially.
Yep.
Like you're looking at 10 years ago, you're looking at your zirconia crown. It was white as hell. It didn't look great. It looked nasty. Now zirconia looks really nice. And now PMMA, you can actually start printing in a day.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have the iCam system or PIX system, in a day, done. You don't have to do hybrid conversion anymore. You don't have to deal with bloody hands anymore. So it's a lot of fun. And 3D printing lately has been blowing my mind, honestly. I just did my first 3D printed PMA. I was like, actually fits.
Wow.
You know? Now, I don't know how strong it's going to be, how long it's going to stay in the mouth, obviously. So if it breaks, though, I can either reprint or mill it.
So I was curious. So take me through your day now. So what are you specializing in? What is your day like? Do you see patients or do you just work on lab cases or?
So I do half and half, actually. I do half and half. So where I work, the doctor who owns the practice actually opened a laboratory for me and him, basically. Nice. So I co-own the lab. Most of my lab work, though, is done in office. So I mean, like only the doctors that work there.
You're their lab technician. So how many doctors? So there's one doctor or two?
There's 4 general dentists.
Wow.
1 periodontist, 1 oral surgeon, endodontist, and a periodontist.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Holy schmoly. Yeah.
It's pretty big.
Damn.
It's pretty big. We're really
and only
busy.
1 lab tech?
Only 1 lab tech.
Only 1 you, just saying.
That don't seem right.
Yeah, and 1 me, yeah. So we have 2 prime scan and 1 omnicam, and we have 1 MCXL, 1 MCX, and MCX5. That they're all 3 running, basically. So I do a lot of chairside crown, the Sarah crowns.
Yeah.
And we use some Empress still, which I find it pretty enjoyable. Actually.
So do I.
I thought Empress kind of disappeared with the lab industry coming with Emax, Lisi, all that kind of Celtra.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff, you know.
It's still the prettiest, in my opinion, anyway.
Empress, you know, there's times where I realized that Emax is not always the answer.
Yeah.
And you're looking at it and you're taking the Emax shade guide and the Empress shade guide. It'd be like, I think Empress looks much better actually.
Yeah.
Interesting.
As long as it doesn't need to be super strong and you're not functioning on it and it's just aesthetics, I'm totally with you. Agreed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we also use the Cerasmart, and it's also a really nice composite for onlays, and they work really well. So it's new material that I have never used in all my career, and mostly because lab we don't use, or at least personally, I have never had a chance to work with Cerasmart or...
What is that, if I might ask?
Now, Cerasmart is just a block composite. GC makes it, I believe.
Is it milled?
It's milled, correct.
Wow. Okay.
It's milled. It's a really nice composite. You just polish and high shine it, really. You don't have to sitting glaze. And for molars, onlays, they work pretty well. And they come in HT, LT, and stuff like that. So it works well, though. Nice. It's nice. I actually have one in my mouth.
So they can take that and they can seed it. And then if there's any margins or anything that they need to add to, can they do direct add in the mouth?
I assume they can. I just never experienced any short margin with...
He's never had that problem.
Yeah, I never had that problem in 9 months. So I'm not sure.
Just asking.
No, that's a very good question, though, which I will definitely bring it up on Monday at my doctor.
Yeah.
So if the office uses like PrimeScan and OmniCam, do you design them in lab or do you design them right there on their unit?
So with the PrimeScan, I use their units. As long as if it's one single Emax or Empress or whatever, then I'll do it on the PrimeScan. If it's a 3-unit bridge, 4-unit bridge, then I'll use the PrimeScan as well because it works pretty well. Granted, you do have to do some minor contouring after it gets milled, but it's not that bad.
So do you have in-lab
I do,
software?
Yes. I have an in-lab and I have a 3Shape software as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So when do those come into play if you're able to design them on the actual scanner?
Because the implants are much easier.
Yeah.
I haven't designed an implant bridge on the in-lab, honestly. I don't even know if I will be capable, to be honest, to make it look pretty, because my first crown with the in-lab was really questionable. It's just different clicks. It's not really user-friendly, in my opinion. That's why 3Shape comes handy.
Sure.
And I've used 3Shape for 10, 11 years or something like that. So I'm more accustomed to that. So all my bridges, all my zirconia implants are done with 3Shape. And then I mill it over MCX5 center with the Profire and then insert it in the patient mouth, basically.
So you do all that same day still?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, only if it's Emax crowns, I'll do same day. But if it's like a 3-unit bridge, no. We'll have the patient back in a week or a week and a half, whenever it's available. Sure. And then we'll insert it then.
Do any of the doctors design?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah?
They do, yeah.
Is it laughable?
Initially, when I first started, yes. It was, some of them were pretty laughable.
Yeah.
But then I pointed out some designs, something that I like on the design that it actually works well for the patient, for clinical purposes. And they will also point out stuff they didn't like on my design as well. It's like a teamwork, which I actually like. So if it's something that they like, they will tell me right away. If it's something that they didn't like, they'll tell me right away. And it's pretty nice having this relationship with some doctors.
Yeah, some doctors.
Yeah.
I like the way you say that.
Yeah.
They're not the easiest to deal with. Just saying.
Yeah.
Do you take work from other offices?
Not really. Not at the moment, because I want to nail down some parameters that I'm still experiencing some difficulties. But mostly for system like Nobel, for example, which I have a huge quote-unquote passion for Nobel.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I hate Nobel.
Oh, I thought you were going to say passion. No?
Oh, no. Quote-unquote. No, I dislike Nobel.
Anti-passion.
I'm recording this on New Year's Eve, everybody. Just saying. Drinking a little bit of vodka. Possibly.
Oh, Barb.
No, I'm
really?
just kidding.
Yeah. Are you, though?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, recently started working with Real Guide. So with guided surgery, and I want to nail down that as well. So it's a process. I'm expecting to start doing some outside work in the next, maybe in a year and a half. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So all my work, 99% of my work is done in house.
Sure. Yeah.
So Elvis, I gotta interrupt here. So you found him on Instagram or online? Where?
Facebook, Instagram. I mean, all the.
I don't do much on Instagram, honestly. I do mostly on Facebook and LinkedIn. I do a lot on LinkedIn.
What do you post on there? Because I'm not privy as Elvis.
I'll have to bleep this out, but I know I'm on Twitters.
What is that?
Oh, yeah, me too.
We can't talk about it.
Is that really a thing?
We can't talk about it.
Yeah, we can. It's, yeah.
Wow.
I love that group, though.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Oh, my God.
Why do you have to bleep that out? Give it up.
Because it's called Hitters.
Is that bad? Well, what is it?
It can't be.
We'll talk about it later, bro.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But yeah, no, on LinkedIn, I mostly post. Sometimes I like to do, that's where the fun part comes, actually. I like to debate. So I like to post an x-ray and say, okay, what's wrong with this x-ray? You'll see all sort of stuff that has nothing to do with the x-ray.
And that
means, for instance, yeah. I posted not too long ago an x-ray of a patient existing two Strongman implants. Nothing wrong with the implants. Maybe some bone loss on one of the implants, but it was not because of a bed restoration or anything like that. It was just amusing, all the comments that I was getting. I'm like, guys, you're not getting the what's going on here. And I also posted what's the issue in the patient mouth, like an actual intraoral picture. And the issue was that patient just needed a big scaling. That's it. And people were not realizing the...
Yeah, but who are you asking? Dentists or technicians? Because not all of us were...
No, but there was a
license in Italy.
And some of the comments were done by dentists, by prosthodontists, technicians, and other people as well. Now, that post was probably 3 months old now. But I like to do that. And I also post pretty much all my work, or at least most of it, from single crowns to full upper arch. And I also post quite a bit of encodes because I recently did a speech for Zimmer Biomet last month.
Good for you. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was my first speech, so I can definitely tell the first 5 minutes I was so nervous that I could feel my legs shaking. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta stop, calm down. Yep. I'll be fine. Yep. But, my boss was in front of me, and he was making jokes as well. I'm like, oh, my gosh, stop doing it. But overall, it went pretty good, and I'm looking forward to do more with them also.
Yeah, once you get past that first time, it gets easier. Not a hell of a lot easier, but it gets easier.
Yeah, that's what everyone says, too.
It takes a lot of guts to get up there and speak, I'm telling you. I have a lot of respect for anybody that does that. It's hard.
Yeah. And our office plays a lot of Zimmer Biomet, mostly 3i.
Really?
Mostly 3i. And, our periodontist only plays 3i. He doesn't place anything else in our office.
Interesting. You don't hear that very often.
Yeah.
Why is that, may I ask?
I think he's just more familiar. He likes the navigator, the guided navigator. He likes that. It's easy to do it. And the surgical guides are actually pretty nice when using the navigator. I know Zimmer came with a new surgery kit, but I might be wrong on that, so don't quote me on
that. Elvis is sweating right now because he works for free.
No, it's all good.
I know.
Zimmer just came out with new software for implant placement and everything. So
yeah, Real Guide.
I don't know if it's... Yeah.
I love it.
Do you? I've heard good things about it.
I absolutely love it. It is very user-friendly. I used to use 360 Imaging and Blue Sky Bio.
Yeah.
I never used 3Shape Implant Studio, honestly, but I'm not going to because Real Guide, I'm loving it. It's so easy. Awesome. So easy to place implants. They're surgical guys. They fit right on. Never had an issue with the printing or surgery. It's a really good system, really good software.
Nice.
The practice owner places the Suda Martina. And so I would also be doing some lectures for Suda Martina as well because a lot of people don't. It's a tough system, maybe.
What is it?
Suda Martina?
Never heard of it.
Me neither.
Italian implant company. They do pretty good. Their failure percentage is really, really low, probably lower than any other implants out there, honestly.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's here in the States?
Oh yeah, Zwitter Martina.
Something Elvis doesn't know. Holy shit. I can hear him. He's so jealous.
They have two primary systems, and most people get confused because the platform is like a sort of a platform switch, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Where the connection is this much, but you can restore up to that much.
Mm-hmm. Is it a clone of another system, or
No, it
does
is
it have
not.
its own connection?
No, their connection is pretty unique, actually, because there's a little latch that goes over the implant.
So all new screws, all new drivers, all new parts, all new pieces.
Yep. You got it.
I say that with enthusiasm.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing I've noticed with you online, because again, I spend too much time. But anytime I run into a post of someone saying, "Can you identify this implant?" You're Johnny on the spot, man. You are on it. Usually the first one, and then everyone just follows with agree. Yeah. How did you learn all this? Is this just experience?
I think I spent too much time on What Implant Is That website.
Yeah, it's a great website.
You know, every time I would get an implant that I didn't know, I would always go look, because I'm such a nerd that I need to see how the thread looks or how it looks on the x-ray. So I always double check on what they look, because when you go in the lab, you only see the connection.
Oh yeah, you have no idea.
Right? You don't see how it looks, the threads, you don't see anything. So, because again, I'm a nerd, I like to research that kind of stuff, and I go to What Implant Is That, and I Google, okay, Osseoretti, how it looks, and I research. I'm like, oh, okay, that looks pretty cool, but it's a Zimmer clone. Most of these third parties things are always a clone of the big ones.
Sure. That's why I asked about that other one you mentioned. I figured it was.
Yeah, no, Zwitter Martina is unique. They don't have it's like 3i. 3i doesn't have really a clone or something, I believe. Yeah, because of the fingers.
I always found 3i being one of the weirdest connections.
I agree.
They're right up there with Keystone with me. I mean,
God.
Strange.
Yeah, with the flower connection.
Yeah. Do we need anything more than a hex? Let's be honest here.
I think the weirdest connection that I've ever seen was actually Xeramex. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
No. Where are you rolling these things out of, man?
Xeramex is only the metal-free restorative option and implant.
Okay.
And the hex, quote-unquote hex, of the implant is actually like the Swiss cross.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Just so we'd have to buy new parts, new drivers.
Well, here's the cool part. The driver is actually, you can use like a really tiny flat screwdriver.
Oh, it's slotted.
Yeah.
Wow.
I never bought a driver for Xeramex. I just end up using a flat driver, a screwdriver. If it didn't fit, I would just grind it off.
That's hilarious.
So
we better talk about ceramics or we're going to lose bars.
No, I was thinking about triathlons. How did you get into triathlons?
Oh, we're getting into that.
Okay.
So just an FYI, Elvis, I am not wearing my tri-kit today.
I appreciate it. You do have a shirt on, though, do you?
I have a hoodie.
Okay.
I like that.
I joke.
So, all right. So you're either a runner, a swimmer, or a biker. What is your number one?
I was a swimmer.
Okay.
I was a swimmer. I was.
So you're crazy. Got it.
Yeah. I was even crazier because I love 200 fly and 100 fly. That was my favorite.
Oh my God, those are the hardest.
I love.
What does that mean, fly?
That's the hardest stroke ever.
Yeah.
You must have massive shoulders, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's one of the issues that I'm having right now with triathlon is these big shoulders that barely fit on my bike.
A little top heavy, are you?
All right. So you were a swimmer, and then how'd you get into triathlons?
So when I moved to Connecticut, I started swimming with this master team at Yale University. I was talking to this guy who actually races as a professional triathlete right now. And I was talking to him. I didn't know who he was. I had no idea. He was a decent swimmer. And him and I were kind of back to back. I'm like, okay, that's pretty good. It's just really fun. Because, sometimes when you go in master swimming, you go, oh, this guy is pretty slow. Oh, this guy is fast. All sort of levels, which is fine. So I was talking to him, and I was like, I was thinking to try my triathlon, but I don't have a bike. I hate running. I still hate running.
I love running. I hate swimming. Just saying.
Oh my God.
Hate swimming. Ugh.
Oh God. I
Sorry.
I'm a fish. I cannot do any fish stuff outside the water.
I'm a surf girl, so I like running. I love just saying. All right.
So I started working out with him. Obviously, he's 20 times faster than me on the bike. Like he averaged 22 miles an hour on 112 miles ride, or 24, whatever it is. And he runs a 7-minute per mile pace.
What?
On a daily base. So for me, it's like his fastest half Ironman was a little on like 3 hours and 30 minutes or something like that. He's fast.
Yeah, he's intense.
Yeah, doing a half marathon after riding a 56 mile and on a 6.10 minute per mile is ridiculous fast to me.
Agree.
When I do 10 minute per mile,
Right. So you've got the challenge, right?
I did. Yes.
It's like, all right, I'm going to go there.
Yeah, and it's funny because him and I did the first triathlon together on the following month that I started talking to him, and I was the fourth coming out of the water. I died on the bike, and the run was half walk, half jog. It was miserable. And now he's my coach. And so far, I've done a half Ironman and full Ironman and another half Ironman.
You have really?
Yeah.
Where did you do your full?
Ironman Lake Placid.
Oh, wow.
So I got to go there. How the hell do you train to do that? How do you train to do that when you have a full-time job? Do you get up at like 3 a.m.?
More like 4:30, yes.
Oh really?
Yeah, I do a workout before heading to work. Then if I have to do something else, I'll do a lunch break and then after workout.
And what do you focus mostly on? Your weakest thing?
No, I do all three, really.
Really?
Normally my weekends are either my long run and my long ride. So I do a bit of both.
Wow. And so you said you hate running. So how do you get through the run? Do you just listen to really great music? You don't listen to podcasts, right? Because Elvis listens to podcasts.
I cannot listen to podcasts when I'm running.
There's no way in hell I can do that.
That'd be crazy.
I cannot even listen to music because I'm terrified of cars. So I've heard too many stories where people are running or riding and they'll listen to music and they get hit by a car because they don't.
So you listen to nothing?
I listen to nothing, yeah.
Just your own brain going, why did I do this?
Holy.
Why did I do this?
Yeah, that's, yeah. That's normally what I do. Is like, why am I doing this? Why am I torturing myself with this when I can just swim 100 fly in a pool?
Wow. So that is amazing. I don't know how anybody can work out without music. But Bob Savage, a friend of mine, he doesn't listen to music when he runs. And I'm like, I don't know how you do that.
Yeah. I used to listen to music and there were times where, because I'm a metal person, I listen to heavy metal.
Headbang while you run?
Sometimes.
That can't be good for your stride.
No.
That was funny, Elvis. Funny every now and again.
But yeah, there are times where I will go to the music pace, So if the song goes faster, I would tend to go faster.
Same here.
And then I would have to take a break because I went too fast.
Same here.
So that's where I realized, okay, I need to not listen to music anymore while I'm running. Otherwise, I'm not getting my workout done.
I got to do a shout out to the foundation. So we do a race every August, and Elvis and I usually do it, and we raise money for the industry. So maybe you ought to think about that next August.
I know. I will love to, but
no. Stop. I'm already recruiting you for my team. I'm saying it right here, right now. I can never put a team together.
He's doing the whole thing, bro.
Run.
Just like me.
He can wear my running strap on his leg and be that part too.
You are
like Marlon. Marlon swims for like 4 teams.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure he can too.
I'm thinking he's going to do the whole thing along with me.
That's the one in Chicago, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So I thought of doing it last August, but I think it was either the weekend or it was the weekend before Ironman Maine, or it was the weekend when Ironman Maine was, the event was going. And I'm also signed up for Ironman Maine last year, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to come to Chicago to do that.
So you're doing the whole thing, like the whole thing?
Ironman Maine is only a 70.3, so it's a half one. I'm doing Ironman Lake Placid again.
That's pretty awesome. Just saying. Props to you.
I think you could do Ironman Maine, get on a plane, get over to Chicago, do the Chicago. I mean, really, come on.
I'm with you.
I could.
All right, so I'm sorry. I just had to detour a little bit there.
Right, no worries.
Really, really love the fact that you do all that. It's pretty impressive.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun. And it gets your mind away from dentistry.
Yeah, I was on my run this morning and I was like, just practice mindfulness. Just look at the road. Don't think about anything other than this. And it's pretty awesome. So
yeah, I agree.
Move on, Elvis. Back to you.
Yeah, let's get back to dentistry.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Full arches. When did you get into that? Is this all started with the doctors you work with now?
No, I've always been a huge fan of full arches. Always been a huge fan of full mouth rehab, doing stuff that people don't ever even do. Like, for instance, I recently did, and to be honest with you, I've never done it in my entire life, but I just followed my doctor's instruction and I did it next to him, literally, and it was a Gothic arch.
Whoa.
Wow.
And
you don't hear that too often.
yeah, exactly. It's like, I've heard of it in dental school, but I've never actually seen it. So when I was making it, I was like, is this how you're supposed to do it? Because this looks weird as hell.
It looks sketch when you do it.
Very. And the way it gets to equilibrate the bite was actually very, really interesting. I've never seen anything like that. But, you know, not a lot of people do it. I've never seen it before in all my career. And it was quite of an experience for sure. And obviously now doing chairside, I follow all the treatment planning that all docs are doing. So from, 6 upper front veneers or to a full arch, full mouth rehab. Right now I'm finishing full mouth rehab, actually. I just finished the upper a couple months ago, and now we're doing the lower. So it's really fun.
What are they doing the full arches in? Zirconia, or are you doing more of the acrylic hybrids?
So the upper was done in zirconia.
Okay.
It's all on 6, normal FP1 prosthetics, and it came out pretty nice. So yeah, the upper was all in zirconia, FP1 prosthetics. The lower, we're switching to a bar over denture, right by round denture, sorry, with titanium bar, and we're keeping the bar, the metal surface, an intelligent surface.
Oh, so what are the Montreal?
Yeah.
Montreal. I can't say it. Montreal bar.
Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Because we don't like the click zirconia versus zirconia. I think it's pretty awful, honestly.
Oh, it's terrible. It's like 2 dinner plates hitting each other.
Exactly. We're keeping the upper in zirconia and acrylic on the bottom.
So obviously, because of your situation, I mean, you're there from the very beginning to planning of implants, making of the guide. I mean, that's rare. You don't get to get that experience when you're in a lab.
Yeah, I see everything. I even assisted the surgery. So,
wow,
because I did the conversion at a time 3 months ago now.
So they were immediate load. Nice.
I don't think I can handle that. I think I would pass right the hell out. Just I really can't. That's just something I can't do.
Last week I assisted a sinus lift, and that was the most amazing thing I've ever assisted in my entire life. And I actually recorded a video on my phone. I have it on my phone.
That's the dentist in you. Like
oh my god, that was so cool. You're poking this little thing up and down, up and down. It was so cool. But yeah, I pretty much any implant placement I see them chairside, and there are times, especially with the interior, because we have the capability, such as MCXL, MCX5, We MCX also. We place an implant. We put the Sirona scan body, which we all love Sirona scan bodies.
Of course,
right?
We do.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fill this with bleep, 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 bleep. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny to see. Oh, what scan body is this? Well, you gotta tell your doctor rescan it with a different scan body because there's a Sirona.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we place the scan body, and then we make an immediate temp.
Oh wow, yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, and I found it pretty awesome in the interior region. Like if you have to make a number 8 or 9 or 10, 11, whatever it is, you can customize that papilla, and it's fascinating. Mm-hmm. Over the time of 3 months, while the implant's healing, you actually check up on that tissue as well. So if you don't like that contour of the tissue, you unscrew the implant crown, you add jet acrylic, and you place it again to modify the tissue.
Yeah.
And that to me is fascinating, really, because you can get the most amazing implant crowns, final implant crowns, basically.
Yeah. So what is your typical go-to with the final? Do you usually do custom abutments, or do you stick with the tie base?
Most of the times it's tie base.
Okay.
But if I'm doing, for instance, crown with a cantilever, then I will do a custom abutment just for anti-rotational purposes. But most of my restorations are done in tie base, screw-retained, because everyone loves screw-retained.
Oh, absolutely.
And done. That's it.
Yeah. So are you getting into the angle correcting tie bases?
Sometimes I have to.
Sure.
Sometimes I have to.
Even when you help plan every implant, you still can't get it where it needs to be all the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yes. And I'm not that kind of guy that says, "Oh, that's where the bone is." Unfortunately, that's where the bone is. You know.
It's easy for technicians to say, if we were here to plan it, it would have been
exactly.
It's not always.
No, most of our implants are planned.
Yeah.
99% of our implants are planned. So we know where the bone is, we know where the nerve is, we know everything. Mm-hmm. And there's times because the ridge crest is too narrow, you have to go with a smaller implant, even though it's it's for a molar.
Yep.
So unfortunately, that's how it is at times. So
not always ideal.
Yeah, exactly. But that's also where I would put a custom abutment, for instance.
You must see patients that come in that got an implant somewhere else.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, they're not all perfectly planned and you from the very beginning.
Yeah, no, and some of those, if they're really bad placed, we don't even try to restore it.
Oh yeah.
We just take them out and put a new one.
Do you really?
Yeah, we do.
Nice.
Yeah, if the angle is really that bad, and we've seen a couple actually, we're just going to get rid of it and place a new one.
Wow. Must be hard to convince a patient that, the last one wasn't so good.
Well, to be fair, it's only if we're doing a full arch. I haven't seen many bad ones for a single unit or anything like that. But if it's full arch, we'll chicken it out and we'll place it somewhere else. Not in the same socket, obviously.
Yeah.
But against graft and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, mainly just for full arches as far as now.
Sure. So you mentioned earlier the PIC system. Do you guys use that?
We do.
Nice.
We do. Nice. We just started, actually. It's a game changer, man. It's a really game changer.
That's what I keep hearing.
You get your verification jig. You get your video. Everything in one time.
How do you get your video?
Everything's set up in the system. Everything set up there. It's pretty fascinating. I've only used it once, so I'm not 100% familiar with it yet. But I'm looking forward to do a lot more with the PIC system.
I don't understand how you get VDO because it looks like you just screw in these paddles.
Yeah, the dominoes.
Yeah, the dominoes. Yeah. You take a picture and
everything's done.
That's awesome.
You don't have to do anything. Then you just design your prosthesis, print, and half hour later you get this PMA hybrid done.
That's insane. Do you print models at that point, or do you go totally modelless?
I did print a model.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You've only done it once, so okay, yeah.
I did print the model because I wanted to make sure everything was fine. And matter of fact, we booked a whole day basically just for this, all on 5. We've tried it obviously with a model that I already had, but it's different when you go in the patient mouth when everything is bloody, everything is a disaster. After placing implants, osteosurgery, all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So, yeah, it's all a mess, but it's pretty fascinating how it turns out.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I'm not an implant girl, so listening to this is pretty fascinating for me.
Honestly, it's a game changer.
Mm-hmm.
It's 100% a game changer.
So are you going to LMT Lab Day?
I am planning to go this year, yes.
Yay. Right. Will you be running? No, I'm just kidding.
No.
I might be cycling to Chicago, though.
Seriously?
No.
I was gonna say, follow the journey of the crazy technique.
Yeah, no. I guess I could bring my bike on the plane and have Zwift. You know what Zwift is?
Mm-mm.
Zwift is it's where you get your indoor training for cycling.
Yeah.
And I guess I could set up a thing on the plane and just cycle through the trip.
If you don't like snow, don't bring your bike to Chicago.
Yeah, I know. Plus, it's gonna be pretty damn cold too. So.
Yeah, it is. I can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Good old Florida.
Oh boy.
So what are your plans for the new year?
Whole nothing really. We're supposed to go to a friend's house, but someone got exposed, so
no. Yeah.
we're just gonna stay in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that seems to be the running plans for just about anybody I talk to.
Yeah,
I think we're all just old. I don't know.
Yeah, no, never.
Honestly, I'm not even looking forward to stay up till midnight. To be honest.
It's gonna happen.
I've done it when I was younger, and I'm not planning to do that.
Mm-mm.
So what's next for you? I mean, what are you looking to bring in 2022?
2022, definitely more. I love doing the lectures, so I'm hoping to do more lectures with Zimmer Biomet, and I'm hoping to do some lecture for Sweden Martin as well.
Oh, wow.
And more for Larchet, I guess.
You don't think you'll be speaking for Zimmer at Chicago?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's too late for that. I think they already picked someone. Yeah. But you never know.
Yeah, sure.
That would be that would be nice to do it, for sure.
I would love to see it.
What's the plan? Is the lab in this office? Are you looking to eventually get more technicians in there?
Eventually, yes. And I think our plan is to possibly get a removable tech.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because we would love to do some partial dentures, and I really don't know much about partial. And there's a lot about partial that
there's a ton.
Exactly. Yeah. Undercuts, parallelism, and all that kind of stuff. I just don't know enough, and I would love to learn. That's no question. But I'm not comfortable enough in taking a case on myself. So right now, all the partial dentures and some dentures gets sent out.
Oh, so you don't do everything, huh?
I don't do everything, no. Simple repairs, I do them.
Yeah.
Flippers, all that kind of stuff, I do those.
Mm-hmm.
But partial dentures, some dentures, they get sent out. And if I have overwhelmed, they do send some of the big cases out as well.
Sure. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
And they know that I'm only one person and that is doing a lot of assistant side and lab work as well. So,
well, it sounds like you feel like you're really part of that clinical team there.
Totally.
Yeah,
which is really nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. It's pretty fascinating. I like that. Yeah, it's all assistant, and we have 16, 17 assistants.
What?
Wow. That's huge.
Yeah, something like that, because there's 2 assistant per doctors.
Wow.
But plus floaters and whatnot. So, yeah, we have quite a bit of maybe 12 assistant.
Your lunchroom must be huge.
It is pretty big.
I've been to a lot of dental offices, and sometimes you go in those things, you're like, this is bigger than my house. Or I have closets bigger than this. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a big office, and they were planning to open a new office sometime next year as well. So,
well, make sure you're a part of the design of the lab from the very get-go.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll put your suction on the wrong side, and
which I am, because we just renovated the lab actually.
Yeah,
and I was involved with everything, and so I told them what my needs are and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, no,
good for you. That's fantastic.
Yeah, they're well aware.
Yep. Awesome.
Well, that's great, man. We appreciate you coming on the podcast. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, I appreciate it as well.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, this is great. I had no idea you were a dentist in Italy. I mean, threw me for a curb, and I didn't even know you were an in-office technician, which we love talking to those. So.
Yeah, we see everything, basically.
I bet.
Yeah, good luck with that, might I say.
Well, thank you so much, and hopefully we'll run into you in Chicago.
Yeah,
definitely. I'm looking forward to meet you guys.
Love that.
Awesome.
And everyone else too. That's gonna be awesome meeting everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, have a good one.
Hi, you too.
Here comes the dogs.
Yep, the dogs always know when we wrap up in an hour. It's amazing.
It's hilarious. I love that. They're like really quiet, and then all of a sudden they're just like busting out.
I'm surprised my dog hasn't said anything yet.
Oh.
You need 6 of them. That's the secret.
That's funny, actually. Thank you. That was great.
All right. We'll talk to you later. Did you know that most in-lab MCX5 users that have ordered BURS from Grow3X once keep on ordering Grow3X BURS over and over again?
No way. You know what? I didn't know that. Why do you think that is, Elvis?
Well, I think it's because Grow3X BURS are engineered by some of the same folks who have been providing BURS to some of the largest U.S. production labs for years.
Did you also know that most Roland and DGShape users have no idea what they are missing out on?
Well, I think I can guess what they're missing out on.
You are right. Most Roland and DGShape users have absolutely no idea how good and great Grow3X BURS are because they think that the Grow3X BURS are only for the in-lab systems.
Well, they are wrong.
To give Roland and DGShape users the opportunity to find out for themselves how great the BURS are for their machines, Grow3X is now offering a buy 3, get 2 BURS free special. This is exclusively for Voices from the Bench listeners, you guys, so please go support them.
So all you simply have to do is go to the Grow3X website. That's grow3x.com, click on BURS, then select Roland and DGShape, add 5 BURS of your choice to your cart, click on checkout. Enter the discount code B3G2. That is B as in boy, the number 3, G as in girl, the number 2, BURS, and check out.
That's awesome. You know what? We actually have a code, Elvis. Boom! That was easy, guys. Go for it. Free BURS. Use them, and use them well.
And we appreciate your support of the podcast, Grow3X.
Thank you. A big thanks to Paolo for coming on our podcast and talking about all the great stuff that you're doing. Amazing that when we asked him to come on the podcast, we had no idea he was a licensed dentist out of Italy. It's truly amazing what we find out by just talking to people in our industry. And no, Elvis, I don't mind all about the implant talk. While it's not my specialty, it's still super interesting. So if you want to check out Paolo's stuff, go find him on Facebook. He's usually creeping around the dentist and lab pages. And thank you, Paolo. That was super awesome.
That's all we got for you. We'll talk to you next week.
See you in Chicago.
Almost. Have a good one. Bye. Curling.
That was close.
Yeah, with the little brooms. Those are funny.
I don't watch that.